Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. It is April 11th, 2022. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of achieving a healthy weight. If you do enjoy my video, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Also, make sure you click on that bell icon so you'll get alerted when I go live. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me at or on my live streams or outside of my live streams. If you'd like to reach out to me, I've created a Discord channel that you could get on there. Let me know what you got going on or ask any questions there. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also, down in the description below, there is a link to a Pinterest board. We created that Pinterest board to share with you guys the food that we've been eating on our whole food plant-based diet. So if you're looking for ideas on things to eat or what we are eating, that is the best place to go for that. Today is day 527 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. So far, I've been able to lose over 210 pounds using a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you are on your diet and you're having success, I'd like to hear how that's going. If you've fallen off the wagon or trying to find a way to get back and get started on your diet, I'd love to hear what you're doing to get that going as well. And what are you going to do to make staying on your diet or starting your diet easier than the alternative? Let me switch over here. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I feel like I had an extremely busy weekend. Anthony saying, looking great, John. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate the support. I hope everything's going great with you, and I hope you had a great weekend. This weekend seemed so busy. We had company in town, so it feels a little bit awkward just having uh, somebody in the house. But she's probably watching this live stream, so I appreciate it, and I loved having her there. It was amazing. Thanks for coming. Um, but um, but yeah, it was a busy weekend, and trying to think. We had a couple dishes or new meals, but overall, pretty much standard food for us. I can probably pull up a couple of the things here on my phone. All right. So this was, I guess I'll start backwards from the earlier photo. I believe this was our Saturday breakfast. I didn't have Saturday. I didn't have breakfast Saturday. This was Sunday. This was breakfast Sunday. We had our spinach oatmeal, and Carrie decided that we should load it up with some mushrooms, and we did. The picture's not very good here with the shadow, but you can see there's plenty of mushrooms on there. Big bowl of oatmeal and lots of spinach mixed into that oatmeal down below. Um, really good. Really good breakfast yesterday, and then dinner yesterday. Let me switch over to that is here. So yesterday, I don't know what the name of dinner was, but it was probably brown rice noodles, a little bit of there was a cashew based sauce, and then there's some vegetables in there as well. I really liked the dinner we had last night. One of the things I talked to Carrie about yesterday a little bit was let's see, Carrie's checking in saying, hey, the dinner last night was called pumpkin Alfredo. And Jackfruit Watermelon's checking in saying, hey, I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you had a great weekend. Um, Jackfruit says, interesting. I never heard of savory oatmeal before. I bet it's great. It is. It's really good. It's something that I kind of got from Chef AJ. I read her book, The Secret to Ultimate Weight Loss. And one of the things that she pushes or she feels like has made a difference in her weight loss and sustaining weight loss is for, she calls it vegetables for breakfast. And so instead of having a sweet breakfast or having fruit in the morning, which is really common in what our oatmeal used to be, we've switched to more of a savory, more vegetable based breakfast. I think a big thing for us with that is that it reduces those sugar cravings throughout the day. When you start your day with something really sweet, then you kind of spend the rest of your day trying to get that sweetness. And so we've been trying the vegetables for breakfast. I don't know that the oatmeal, spinach oatmeal is exactly what she was going for with that, but that's what we've been having, and I really like it. It's something simple, not too difficult. But then the dinner here, the Alfredo, it's funny because when we eat these meals, I can you can notice that there is that salt missing. We're so conditioned and we're so used to adding salt to everything that there's been so many times where me and Carrie sit down and we're eating and we're just like, yeah, this could use salt. And I've kind of been getting away from that mindset just because my diet has been so clean since the beginning of the year. And I notice a difference between my completely clean diet and the vegan diet that I was kind of eating there for 6 months, the last half of 2021. And when I eat this way, I don't feel unsatisfied at all. And one of the things I noticed with this dinner more than I have before is how much it's just the texture that I wanted. And the texture of this is just like what a creamy Alfredo spaghetti would taste like or would feel like. It not taste like, it would feel like. And that really kind of struck me that, I'm just satisfied by having that texture and having that mouth feel of the food. And in reading the book Salt, Sugar, Fat from Michael Moss, he talks about that a lot in that the manufacturers, they are concocting the perfect food for us, and they've take everything into consideration. And one of the things that they take into consideration is that crunch that you get from food. And he talks about the Cheeto specifically. The Cheetos are designed to have that specific crunch. If they didn't have not just the flavor and everything else, but that crunch itself leads to additional eating or overeating. And I noticed that a lot with I hope this ringing is not too bad, but I'm not gonna it should stop ringing in a second. Um the the satisfaction I get from eating like our oat groats and our brown rice and the taking the time to actually like pop the kernels. Like you don't do it with every bite, but every now and then you'll get like a stray piece of oat groat or steel cut oat in your mouth, or you'll get a piece of brown rice that you kind of work it between your teeth and you kind of snap it or you crack it. And I think that that is a instinctual kind of texture, feel, uh, response that we get from our food, that we look for those things in our food. We look for that crunch, or we look for that pop when we're eating food. Um, and so having this Alfredo, I more so than anything, I was happy or I was satisfied with it because of the way it the creaminess of the noodle, and and it didn't have to be a pasta Alfredo or have lots of sugar or lots of um, salt added to it. And I know I've talked about it a few times recently, but that being clear of the salt and being kind of detox from it, it's really a freeing thing. And I think that the different forms of salt that there are lead to a lot of additional cravings and a lot of overeating. That was one of the questions I got this weekend on a page. I get that a lot, is people understand why you get rid of the sugar. Everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people agree with getting rid of added sugar. In the whole food plant-based world, getting rid of the added oil is huge. There is lots of whole food plant-based no oil plans out there, or people promoting the no oil. But when you throw the salt in there, people just kind of get up in arms. And it's so funny to me because uh it's the last kind of addiction people hold on to, or I feel like again it's this conditioning that we've been given throughout our whole lives that you need this, you need to eat a balanced diet. Well, that's yes, you shouldn't. A balanced diet is a myth. I mean, that means that as long as you're eating kale 99% of the time, then you could eat Snickers bar that 1% of the time, and then that's balanced. But that isn't balanced because you're going to continue to go for that Snickers bar every time. And then it's going to go from 99 to 90, 10, and it's going to start getting unbalanced on the scale of food. We shouldn't be trying to find a balanced diet. We should be finding a diet that is heavily favored towards the health spectrum. And eating a whole food plant based diet does that. Everything that I put into my mouth, I consider it, a health food. That if you would have asked me 2 years ago if that's a health food or not, every single thing I eat now is a health food. There is no junk food where I have to balance out the junk food with healthier food. It's just all healthy food. And there's lots of other kind of myths that they've been pushing into our head that you have to eat 3 times a day, or that breakfast is the most important meal, or and so there's all these myths that people over time are okay with the dispelling of, or, "Oh, I get that," or, "Yeah, that makes sense." But when you throw that no salt in there, people are just like, "You gotta have salt to live." Well, I mean, I don't believe that our ancestors needed salt to live. I think that salt came around for us to preserve food, and it was a huge integral part of the growth of our civilization. But once we developed the refrigerator, and once we developed vacuum sealing and the ability to preserve these foods, the need for salt really went away, but we continue to crave it. So we just leave it in our diet. And I would say that of all of the things that I've done in the diet, maybe oil would be the number one, but salt would be right up there with the best things I've gotten rid of. And it really allows me, and they talk about it in the pleasure trap, and I know I've talked about it here a lot, is just I feel at peace with my food. I don't have any cravings for dinner tonight. I just hope I have food. It doesn't have to be anything special. Um, and it's always satisfying. No matter what the taste is, I'm always satisfied because I'm eating a volume of food. Um, when we get so wrapped up in taste, or we try to divide, we really, a lot of it is us trying to get pleasure from our food. And by having any of those added things in your food, that increases people's perception of pleasure from their diet. And I just feel great not having that stuff in my diet, and not having to worry about uh, those cravings or anything like that. Carrie says, "Woo, that takes the pressure off." Yes, I mean, and I'm a guy, and so I mean, I'm sure there's lots of ladies out there too, but if Carrie wasn't making dinner for me, I would grab a bag of, or I'd grab a can of no salt added corn, a can of pineapple chunks, and some Ezekiel bread and some peanut butter, and that would be my dinner for the evening. Like I wouldn't care if I had a super fancy dinner or not. I do believe that you need to have a variety of foods, and so like mono dieting can work if you're trying to lose weight, and it can go for a certain amount of time, but your gut microbiome really strives the diversity of a lot of different plants. And so, and I think that again, we would have done that. We would have eaten kind of the first, we would have eaten the first things that we came across, whether it was a banana or a berry or a mushroom or uh, a, an apple, whatever. We would have eaten everything we would have come across. We would have probably mono dieted sometimes. Like if we found a nice tree that had a lot of ripe bananas, we would have sat there for a week and just ate bananas off the tree. But that's Um, this weekend was busy. I ended up being much more active this weekend than I had the last few weekends, which is awesome. I've been waiting for the weather to get nice outside so I could get out and do some yard work. I spent a good hour or two in the yard on Saturday just picking up sticks and putting them on the burn pile, and just kind of cleaning up from the winter. I mean, there's still garbage all over my yard I got to pick up, and I went around and picked up some of the sleds that the kids left at the bottom of the hill because, why would they bring it up the last time that they were going down? Um, and just kind of tidying up because the winter been so long. This winter's just sucked. Like, I mean, and I'm saying that, and I'll wake up tomorrow and it'll start snowing again because it was snowing on Friday or whatever last week. I couldn't believe we're into April and we're still getting snow on the ground here. So I'm just wanting spring or summer or whatever's gonna hit to hit so I can get outside more. And but yeah, it was good to get out and do the yard work. We kind of went for a walk with the kids, met one of our neighbors we hadn't met who has we've met them sort of, but had a longer conversation with them while our kids hung out. So it was great to be out doing that. Um yes, Carrie said on Saturday we were walking in the neighborhood next to our house, and she says and then we were chasing down a runaway Jeep in the neighborhood. Yeah, the neighbor kid had a Power Wheels that was like this two-seater, kind of looks like an ATV four-wheeler thing, or a UTV, like if you know what a side by side is. And our twin daughters that are about the same age of this lady's daughter were having a blast going up and down the road in the little Jeep. Of course, they were fighting over who got to drive, and then they were picking up sticks. I'm sure that the neighborhood loved them. They were driving down the neighborhood road, and they would stop, and they would go out, and they'd pick up some sticks, and they'd put them in the back of their Jeep. It was kind of cute watching the girls do that. But that was on Saturday, and then Sunday came around, and we had some stuff in the morning, and then my son is a he's in the Boy Scouts, and the Boy Scouts do a fundraiser throughout the town that we live in where they put up flags in people's yards. And uh we had to take the kids around to different neighborhoods and have them go door to door, ask if people wanted to sign up for the flag program. um, and then about half of the addresses already had paid for the year for their flag program, so we had to just go and make sure that what they call a receiver, or the thing that the flag goes into in their yard, they bury that in the ground. We just had to make sure that that was clear from the previous year, and then we also marked the sidewalk with some paint. And it was something where really the only thing the adults needed to do was to just drive the kids to the neighborhood, and then the kids were kind of supposed to go and do the selling or hand out the flyers because it's a very popular thing. A lot of people in at least the streets that I was on were already signed up, or if they hadn't renewed for that year, I could tell that they were going to renew because they already had a marking on their driveway. So I would kind of, as the kids were going up to the door, I'd be like, "Hey, this guy's already had it, so there's a good chance they're gonna renew." And I really only needed to drop them off, and I could have driven my car and followed them, but I was kind of like, you know what? I'll get a free workout in today, and I will walk with the kids. And it probably took my group because it was only me and three kids. It was one older kid and then two kids that were in sixth grade or fifth grade. Um, and so we just did the whole route on foot, and I really liked getting the workout. It's something that, I probably walked 2 miles or 3 miles that whole time. I didn't think about turning on my watch, but I could have turned my watch on. Um, but I was never winded the whole time. I was able to walk fine from door to door. Definitely not something I would have done 2 years ago. I might have driven the vehicle, and there was other parents that drove vehicles, and, I know that because we were talking to the kids that rode with them, and the adult didn't even get out of the car. They just followed in their car as the kids ran door to door, and, so we did it a little bit slower maybe, but it was nice to get out, get the exercise in. I really felt amazing by the end of the day yesterday. Carrie said, got loads of vitamin D in this weekend. Yes, I was out in the sun a lot more this weekend than I normally am. And yesterday, I was feeling awesome by the end of the day, just with all the walking I did. We were actually at the trampoline park on Thursday of last week. So, really, those 3 days kind of rolled into each other. I was much more active than I've been in the last 6 months. So, I was really happy about that up until I got to work this morning and got on the scale and saw that I didn't lose any weight. But I can't get upset about the scale at all. I've talked about that a lot. I don't get upset about the scale anymore. If my diet is 100% on point and I'm doing these activity things, if the scale's not moving in the right direction, it's just the way it is. Like it's something where I tell my kids this every day, and it's a Cub Scout thing, I know, but all I can do is do my best. And I am doing the best that I think I could do or anybody in my position would be doing. And so for the scale to not go my way, that's just the way it is. And I'm saying that, and tomorrow I could come in and I could lose 2 or 3 pounds. The scale fluctuates a ton. And when I use it every day, except for the weekends, I have to be accepting of what the scale is going to show me. But I know that I haven't done anything to cause any negative effects to my body. And if I am gonna gain weight this week or maintain weight, then my body potentially was just retaining more fluid than it normally does, or it was all that muscle I grew walking around. But using all those leg muscles again that I'd been letting atrophy while I sit at my desk and work all day. Um, but yeah, it's something I'm happy that I got out and did that activity this weekend, regardless of what the scale does. I need to be getting outside and doing things outside more. That's really where I one of my big focuses. I had three kind of goals for 2022. I don't know if so one of the goals was to make my goal weight by the end of this year. Not quite on track like I hope to be for that, but I got a lot of time left. We'll see how active I get this summer. And then that was my other goal, was to just be more active. It wasn't, I didn't have any set thing to do this event or run so much or do anything, just to be more active. Talking to a friend of mine today, and we got talking about hiking. I really kind of want to get out and do some hiking. My son, we picked him up a pretty nice bike. I'd like to get him out and ride bike. I got a really good friend of mine that just bought a brand new bike because he's having some health issues that are keeping him from being able to do any other kind of exercise. So I got lots of people that are looking to ride bike and do activities. So I'm looking forward to this nice weather, and hopefully it stays that way for a very long time. It was pretty windy on Saturday, but yesterday, I'm sorry, it was windy on Sunday. It was windy yesterday, but Saturday was. Let me see. Anything else I want to talk about? Um, don't really have a whole lot more. Just that I I really appreciate having this platform to talk on. I've talked about that a little bit, and like the accountability, the scale, checking that, updating with you guys keeps me from getting pissed at the scale or doing things or being crazy. So definitely love having that accountability. And I think if you can create some sort of accountability platform for yourself that outside of yourself and outside of your family, start an Instagram or start a Facebook page, start a TikTok, and just post what you're eating, or if you're trying to work out, just post what you're working out. And you just put tags on it, and eventually, you'll start getting people that start following you, and it'll really help out. Anthony says the accountability is paying off. I really do. And it was something that I have done it before. I've on stream. It was a long time ago, but I lost weight, a lot of weight in 2013. I was taking a prescription called phentermine, which is a appetite suppressant, and I was seeing a doctor who was prescribing that phentermine to me, and um, I lost a lot of weight. I thought it was, you know, power of positive thinking, and I think I just probably read The Secret not too long before that. If you've read The Secret or not, it's a book about manifesting things and the power of positivity, power of your mind. Um, and so I was with that doctor and we were doing stuff. I was taking that pill and I lost a lot of weight in the 9 months that I was on this doctor's program. And one of the things that I did as part of this program is he had weekly meetings every Thursday night, and I was religiously at those meetings every Thursday night. And just the accountability, I would go in, I'd be able to weigh in. It was kind of like a Weight Watchers thing without all the Weight Watchers stuff. If Weight Watchers is how you need your accountability, or then maybe that's the way to go. But um, it's something where I really liked having that kind of check in. There was people there that had seen my success and they wanted to hear about how good I was doing, because at that point I was kind of that doctor's poster child. He was very focused on kind of people letting go of their victim mentality, and wasn't so on board with that. But I kind of, you know, one of the things that I did as while working with this doctor was there's a local kind of TV afternoon broadcast where they have local businesses come and talk about what they're doing, or they have feel good stories and things like that. And one of the things that they did, that my doctor had me come on, and we did an interview with this lady about his medical weight loss clinic. And like I said, I was kind of his poster child because I was doing so well. And I've played that video before on stream. I might play it again because I think I have probably a completely different outlook on that than I even had whatever 9 months ago when I watched it on stream before. Um, I just have a lot different views on diet and food and health. Be interesting to just rip apart my own interview, I guess. But that would be a stream for another day. If you're interested in that, let me know. But I am going to get out of here today. It's been about a half hour here. I will be back live tomorrow, 4 p.m. I don't see anything getting in my way of streaming the rest of this week. I am going to be making some changes over the next couple months, so it's not going to be anything soon, but I might have to change the time that I do these streams. Um, and so if anybody has suggestions of a time that's better for them, let me know. I might do it kind of first thing in the morning, so the videos are kind of up for the day. But if anybody has any recommendations on that, I would love to hear them. Uh, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, get subscribed to the channel. Click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. Carrie says we're having mega veggie chili tonight. I love me some mega veggie chili. I'm excited. Uh, if you guys haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's nothing nothing coming up that's more important than your health, your overall wellness. Anthony saying yum. Yes, I'm excited. I love the mega veggie chili. Uh, again, I talk about that all the time. I didn't love it at first, but I do now. Um, don't fall for the myth of moderation, the myth of moderate change, the idea that you can slowly progress and you can get rid of all these vices and all these things that you're addicted to over a time, and that you'll be able to make these changes while you're still eating this junk food or eating the crap. As long as you allow those temptations in your life, as long as you have them in your house, you will not be able to defeat the temptations. If you want to see drastic changes in your health, you need to make drastic changes with the food that you eat. And if your end goal is to make that change anyways, then you might as well start now so you get the most amount of benefit from making that change versus dragging it out for a month and then maybe making that change or maybe falling off the wagon before you even get the change completely happening, converted to that diet. The other is the myth of moderate consumption, the idea that a little bit of anything is healthy. I had somebody the other day, I watch a lot of live videos of vegans talking about stuff and I participate in the chat. And somebody was talking about they never saw anybody that gained weight or was overweight from the carnivore diet. I was kind of like, well, I've never seen a fat meth head. So does that mean that methamphetamine is a diet food? I mean, like you can have one doesn't have to necessarily correlate to the other. And uh a little bit of something doesn't always mean a good thing. For an alcoholic, a little bit of alcohol isn't a good thing. For an ex-smoker, a little, one drag of a cigarette isn't healthful for them. And if you are somebody who suffered from being severely obese like I did, eating a little bit of a junk food or a little bit of candy is not going to help you. So, don't fall for the myth of moderate consumption. Also, the idea that you can eat less food and still be satisfied. If that was possible, if it were actually possible for people to cut their portions in half, still be satisfied, we would live in a world of skinny people, but it doesn't work. Nobody succeeds on the whole in the long run eating in moderation. You have to change the density of the food that you eat. You have to change the calorie density to, eating foods that are below 600 calories per pound. I'm out of here, guys. You all have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow. I can't find my cursor.